When it's time. When it's time to buy a home, get your keys, open doors with K-Night. When it's time to sell your home, that's right. This real estate agent K-Night.
Hello, I'm Kimasha Knight with Knight Realty Group. Welcome to Real Estate, Real Answers, and Real Keys. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important steps in the home buying process and one of the most overlooked lessons in life. The title of today's episode is What Every Home Inspection Can Teach Us About Life. Let me ask you a question. If you were buying a home and the seller said, "Trust me, everything is fine. You don't need an inspection," would you skip it? Probably not. Why? Well, wise buyers understand that what you can't see can cost you the most. The inspection isn't about finding a perfect house. It's about discovering the truth about the house. And the same principle applies to our lives. Most of us want the blessing of knowing the truth, but few of us enjoy the process of discovering it. But growth begins where honesty begins. So today, I want to show you what every home inspection can teach us about buying wisely, living wisely, and growing wisely. So one of the first things I tell buyers is this: every house has issues. Let me say that again. Every house has issues, even brand new, spanking construction built homes, right? The purpose of an inspection is not to determine whether problems exist. The purpose is to understand what those problems are and how serious they are. Okay, what they might cost, whether you're willing to move forward during the inspections, whether you're willing to move forward. So during the inspections, inspectors often evaluate the roof, the foundation, the plumbing, electrical systems, HVAC systems, structural components, moisture issues, safety concerns. The photos look perfect. The walkthrough looked perfect. But then here comes the inspection and it reveals things that they never noticed. Not because the house was necessarily bad, but because appearances don't always tell the whole story. Right? One small leak can become water damage. One crack can actually become a structural concern. One ignored issue can become a very expensive repair. And so that's why inspections are valuable. They reveal reality. Okay, reality gives us the ability to make wise decisions. And that's the same thing that happens in life. Many people spend years managing appearances while ignoring reality. We inspect houses more carefully than we inspect ourselves. Think about that. We want to know, is the roof leaking? Is the foundation stable? Are there hidden problems? But we rarely ask, how's my character? How are my relationships? How is my emotional health? How's my spiritual life? What issues have I been ignoring? The truth is that hidden issues don't disappear because they're hidden. They simply grow. So just like a small leak behind a wall, you may not see it today, but eventually the damage will become more visible. So one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the willingness to be honest. Honest about what's working, honest about what's broken, honest about what needs our attention. Because the issues we acknowledge can be addressed. And then the issues we deny often become bigger. One of my favorite prayers in scripture comes from Psalms 139. Those of you who've heard me minister, you've heard me say this before. David prayed, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts." I love that prayer because David wasn't asking God to confirm how great he was. He was asking God to reveal what he couldn't see. That's what inspections do. They reveal what is hidden. They expose what's been overlooked. They bring awareness, and awareness creates opportunity for growth. Many people fear inspections because they fear what might be discovered. But wise people understand that revelation is not rejection. Finding a problem doesn't mean you're a failure. Finding a problem means you now know where your focus and your attention needs to be. God doesn't reveal things to shame us. He reveals things to help us grow. So just as an inspector identifies issues so a buyer can make informed decisions, God often reveals areas in our lives that need healing, strengthening, or corrections. Okay, it's not to condemn us, but to prepare us. So here's today's real key. Inspections don't create problems, they reveal problems, and revelation is a gift. So whether you're buying a house or evaluating your life, honesty is always better than ignorance. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is awareness. Because what is revealed can be repaired, and what is acknowledged can be addressed. What is identified can be improved. The people Who grow the most are not the people with the fewest issues, the people most willing to confront them. So if you're buying a house, don't view the inspection as a hurdle, view it as a tool. Attend the inspection if possible, ask questions, learn about the systems in the home. Okay? Understand maintenance needs. And remember, an inspection report is information. Information helps you make wise decisions. And if you're already a homeowner, don't wait until something breaks. Perform regular maintenance, right? Address small issues early because prevention is almost always less expensive than repair. So today's real estate key is hidden problems become expensive when ignored. Today's life key is growth requires honest self-examination. Because at Keynight Realty Group, we believe in real estate, real answers, and real keys. If this episode encouraged you, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who is preparing to buy a home, and leave a comment below. Okay, here's my question today for you. What area of your life might benefit from an honest inspection? I'm Kimasha Knight, and I'll see you next time. Remember, the real estate key is understanding what's beneath the surface, and the life key is having the courage to look beneath your own.
When it's time for change, don't get it right. Make your next move. Keynight, buy or sell, day or night. She's working for you. Trusted, proven, shine. The real estate partner. Kimasha Knight.